Recently, I had a case that was referred to us from one of our retina specialists, and I wanted to go over a few of the things that we did to make this work. So here we are at the beginning of this case, and you can see all that silicone oil there that has floated to the surface because silicone oil floats. Perfluorocarbon sinks, but this is definitely silicone oil. And it may seem intimidating to have this at the beginning of the case, but it really doesn't prove to be too much of a difficulty. So there we put the paracentesis in, and now we have the MPF lidocaine. You can tell they're under topical anesthesia because they're blinking against the lid speculum. And you can see the silicone begin to stream around and circulate. Some of it will come out the paracentesis, though you can't really see that in this view. But the oil just kind of circulates. Next, we'll go ahead and get the viscoelastic, and we'll just place that through the paracentesis as usual. I think some people might take the cannula beyond the silicone oil so that we could sort of direct the silicone oil toward the paracentesis. I don't find that that's critical. It'll all kind of wash out shortly, and we just fill the anterior chamber in this way, and you can see that the bubbles and the silicone oil are all displaced off to the side. And then they also have a bunch of posterior synechia, and we'll take those down in a little bit of time. Now we'll skip forward and we'll secure the eye through the paracentesis with a 0.12. That's my preferred method for securing the eye during the keratotomy, and then the keratome is a little bit tilted toward the paracentesis and the 0.12 because that makes sure you have more of a rectangular opening rather than a trapezoidal one. And now we'll move on to the second part of this video where we're sort of going to take down the synechia, and we have a Connor wand here, and you can just gently slip under an area that is already open. In other words, there's no synechia, and then just begin to displace the iris away from its adherences to the lens below it. Sometimes there'll be a broad base of the posterior iris connected to the lens. It seems like that's a little bit here, but it's really not too difficult to manage as we stretch this around here. If we need a Malayugin ring, we could have used it, but we didn't need a Malayugin ring for this case. And we'll just continue to ensure that we have as much of the iris released from the lens as we can, since we need a fair amount of visualization. Now we're all the way toward the end of the case. What I want to point out here is that there is no silicone oil, and sometimes when you do these cases, the opening through the zonules be significant enough that the oil will continue to come forward, but that didn't prove to be the situation here. And so that initial washout, as well as the anterior pressure head from the phaco and the eye and the handpiece, provided enough resistance to the forward flow of silicone oil. Then we put the lens in, and I still felt it was important to put a suture in, so even though no oil had come forward, I really wanted to make sure that she didn't rub the eye the night of surgery or something like that, and we get more oil into the front. So the stitch was just there for extra precaution.